thank you very much, Professor Joe Houghton, for inviting me for this podcast on nice evening here in India. It's 7 p.m. at your end. It's afternoon, and myself, Professor Anuj Kumar. My first introduction is I'm a student of Professor Joe Houghton way back 2013-14. Studied my MS in University College Dublin only. Currently, I'm the head of research with Rushford Business School, Switzerland, and also affiliated with the India International University, Malaysia, as a research fellow, and doing pretty good in research over a period of time, or last 4 5 years. Have a good quality publications, research papers, case studies, books, and then organized many conferences, management development programs, faculty workshops, and all. So, looking forward for I've seen podcasts like in podcast of cricketers, film stars, and different celebrities. But I've seen that as we found a gap in the research, there's a gap with the podcast of the researchers or educationists were a little bit missing or less in number. So through this podcast, you are from all the way from Ireland, I'm from India. So we can give something best to all our audience. Over to you, Professor Joe.
Yeah, well, great to be here, Anuj. And as you pointed out, we've now had a collaboration that's more than 10 years now since you were sitting in my class in Dublin, and we've kind of kept in touch, and I've watched your career grow. I mean, the one thing you didn't mention is that you are probably a month or two away from getting your floppy hat, and the PhD you'll then be a doctor, Anuj Kumar, which is something we're all looking forward to. So that's great. Yeah, so I mean, when you contacted me a few days ago and suggested this idea for the podcast, just to talk about, I suppose, the process of research, of publication, and collaboration. Now, I'm a businessman who teaches. I don't consider myself to be an academic. You've turned into a real academic. I mean, your publication record is longer than I've had hot dinners. It's ridiculous how fast you seem to be able to knock out papers and good papers as well that are published in good journals and things. So I think it's going to be an interesting discussion to kind of explore that possibility. I mean, let's start off, and I mean, I think give us an idea. You've now been in the educational research space for what, 5 or 6 years, something like that, probably, after you finished the
I've been in the educational research. I joined my first college on 1st January 2016. It has been 8 years.
8 years, right? So
nearly
yeah.
8 years.
So what have you seen in the 8 years that you've been publishing? What's the state of research in India? Is it the same as what you're seeing? Now you're involved with Rushford in Switzerland and Malaysia and stuff. So what's your sense of the pace, the way research is done over the last 8 years?
Yeah, Professor, so what I have seen a big change in terms of publication, in terms of thinking of the faculty members over here. Like it starts from the assessment pattern. Like our assessment pattern in India is like not like European university, not like University College of Ireland, where students go through, Turnitin check. They have to make assignments, 2,000 words, 3,000 words, 4,000 words. I've studied in India as well as in Ireland. So I've seen, like, in India, you have to, when you give exams, you have to mug up the things, and then you write your examination on the day of exam. But there the pattern is completely different. So there I got, inside me, I got, what you can say, I saw a writer inside me. when I was in
Yes.
a university college, Dublin, writing definitely, you still remember I have made reports in your subjects, in other subjects as well. So there I learned the process of writing. And when I came back to India and I joined university, that's a Bharati Vidyapeeth University. So as a teacher, I've seen the research culture in India is evolving in the last 3-4 years or so. Uh, uh, Big names are coming on the surface. Indian researchers are, also coming in the world scientific, world scientists and the 2% scientists in the 1% scientists. So they are exceptionally doing yeah, well. Indian research are being published in the high quality journals.
Mm.
So now there is a whenever there is a competition, you always see good results also. There is a competition in the faculty members for good research publication and all. Even in the PhD, if you see in India, the scenario has been changed. They ask you for a quality paper in good journal to submit your PhD. Though the rules keep changing, now it also got changed that you can do publication in some peer-reviewed journal. So rules keep changing, but that what you say, that catalyst which was missing has been there in last 4-5 years. The surge is there,
Mm.
inclination towards research. Okay, we we are seeing researchers from developed countries, and we are trying to match up with them. So that's how you see overall mindset of the university has been changed. Prior, if you see before 2010 or before 2012, if anybody is doing research, it's good. He's doing. If anybody is not doing research, he's also good. He's justifying his role in the university by teaching and doing all other tasks. But now the change is it is mandatory for you to do research.
Okay.
It is mandatory for
Part of the
you to do
expectation.
publication. You have to write 2 papers in a year, you know, to to justify your role for
Yeah.
this in the institute, and it also counts in the ranking.
Yes.
When you talk about world QAS ranking, we see Indian universities, are not in the higher category because I guess somewhere we were lacking in research.
Okay.
So now we understood the importance of global ranking also. So that's how faculty members are contributing to that.
And you've been, I mean, you've been in that space of actually helping a number of different universities over that time to develop that culture of research, and with your involvement with Confab 360 as well. So tell us a little bit about that. I mean, because when you came back to India from studying in Ireland, you probably brought back some new ideas, and that seemed to catch this wave of understanding in India, perhaps, that research was more important and needed to be fostered. But you've been involved in fostering others, haven't you, in teaching other academics?
Yes, I have been involved. I've seen when I've seen people, they were struggling in research, but fortunately, I've got this opportunity to learn the art of writing in University College Dublin. As I told you, making different reports, doing referencing, studying journals. I have studied my first journal in University College Dublin on. So studying journals, going through the library and all such things. Yeah, I have done in last 4-5 years. I have organized, like along with Confab also I have in collaboration, I've organized 2-3 conferences with after talking to the founder of the Confab. So, and then along with the universities where I was affiliated with, like Bharati Vidyapeeth University, I have organized international conference. And during the conference, what I've seen, here the problems are a different type of problems. You know, People expect us to write good research papers, but for good research papers, you also need good quality time.
Mm.
I a sound mind. peace of mind, your room full of all the facilities, you Scopus database, turn it in software. These are the very, very basic necessities. But what I've seen in Indian setup in many universities, these basic things were missing,
Okay.
like providing access of Scopus database, and then providing that Turnitin software and all such things. Scholars, academicians are struggling, but look at their bravery. That they are doing all types of work, teaching and administration work as well. It's not core teaching when it comes to Indian universities. It's a mix of some teaching load and then some administration load. And there are no, even with those teaching and administration load, they are publishing good research paper with all such difficulties. This is not the scenario in all the universities. There are central universities in India. There are IIMs in India. They are providing excellent facilities. They are providing grants. They are also providing funds for you to visit outside India. But mostly in the private universities, there is A category colleges, there are B category colleges, C category colleges, B or C category colleges. Now research is not a choice. Research is is not by choice. Research, if you have to you have to live in the life of as a professor or associate professor or assistant professor, you have to do research. It is mandatory.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there enough training for people in research, or is that effectively what people use their PhD to do, is to learn how to research? Because not everybody gets a PhD, do they? I mean, there's plenty of professors, me included, who are not, who don't have a doctorate. So how did you go from, coming out of the master's program at UCD, having been exposed to, academic databases and papers and stuff like that, to becoming this powerhouse author of, I don't know how many academic papers now. I mean, I've just lost count. It's ridiculous. Where did that happen?
Oh, it's a I go back to one thing. There's a one word which I like: collaboration. I know that nobody is in himself or herself is perfect. Nobody is complete. Okay. In research also, I can say that I have done my first program in like 2020. There I communicated the importance of collaborative research. Collaboration, you are from different country, one person from other country. You have some resources, I have some resources. I'm good in drafting, I'm good in idea generation. Somebody is good in research methodology. Somebody good is in data analysis. So the time consumed will be less and the quality will come. So my secret of success in research is all because of collaboration. Today also I'm associated with several countries. Even even right now I'm a keynote speaker in a conference at Dr. Purvi's college is doing 28th and 29th. We both are in the editorial board, and so if you see the editorial board, there are people, academicians from different countries, and they all know me. They all know me. How they know me? The connection is only research.
Yes.
Papers, sometimes I learned from them, sometimes I helped them, sometimes they helped me. And yes, you put up a very good point. A training is missing for writing a quality research paper. The faculty members have pressure in India to publish. Okay, but that quality is not coming on the surface because probably somewhere the training is missing. Training on the part of writing a paper, training on the part of publication cycle. Yeah, PhD altogether is a different game altogether. PhD is a degree, and the thesis. PhD don't teach you how to publish. PhD don't teach you. You just have to publish one or two paper. the whole process of publication starts when you finish your manuscript. People think finishing manuscript means publication. No, from there the publication starts. Your
Yeah.
journey start. You put it in ABC, some journal, XYZ journal. You got your first rejection, and then 90%, if this is your first paper, you start like, you think like, okay, this is not my cup of tea. This happened to me as well. I entered in this arena of academics in 2016, and Professor Joa was not in any discussion or not in any limelight till 2019 September.
You just had to
Three
keep
years,
trying, keep
3 years, I was keep writing, attending conferences like mad. In 2018, I went to London to attend a conference, and I also went to Bangkok to attend conferences. I have attended more than 30 conferences in my initial 3 years in academics. Why? I know I like initially, internally, I like this thing to attend conference, interact with people, learn, but I was not able to crack through, what's the process.
Yeah.
Then in slowly, I learned the art of developing people. Uh, by God's grace, I studied in UCD, so I have that art of good writing. I developed my skills over there. And after coming from UCD, I also started working as academic writer for a year. I worked as academic writer before joining Bharati Vidyapeeth. So there also my speed and writing skills were tested. So that was and I was working with the Chinese. Those people were very much up to the deadline, very hardworking. You can't say no for the deadline. Every minute thing they were checking. So I must say I was well trained, and that training helped me. And as you raised the point, that training is missing, and
Yeah.
it is required.
Yes. So is that something you're going to continue to do? Because I mean, you don't have to, do you? I mean, you could just foster your own career and produce more papers and and all the rest of it. But you do seem to spend a lot of time developing other people.
Yeah. I this is a habit of mine, or you can say I get a satisfaction by helping others.
Yes.
You always see, we are connected on LinkedIn. Always, one day I put something, another day I put something else. Doing this, doing that. I'm feeling proud to tell you I was the first one who organized the intellectual right patent conclave in India.
Yeah.
And if you type in Google World Patent Conclave, you will see my name as a convener.
And you've
Even
got
in the
how many patents now? I mean, you're you're just 36 last week or week before.
in the patents, I have
Yeah.
three patents granted, and a few of them are in pipeline. So patents also I started working as a part of research only. So my satisfaction is to not to, like, I can sit back and I can publish paper. This is not my satisfaction. When I published my first paper in 16, when I published in Scopus in September 19, I have done my first program in 2020 when the COVID came. COVID wave came in all around the world in March 2020. So I organized first faculty development program in which I talked about my paper, how it get through the process. If we can educate people about the process, then I feel satisfied. I feel satisfied. And in 24 hours, I received, like, in a whole day, around like 5-6 call from people. Sir, I want to write research paper. I want your guidance. I'm stuck over here. I'm stuck over there. So my role is more, I see, as a facilitator. Okay, I can proudly say, like, more than 30 people have entered in the Scopus database because directly or indirectly I helped them through my conferences.
Yeah. And
They
that's
have
a
presented.
lovely thing to be able to kind of look at and think, you know, they probably wouldn't have got those papers published if they hadn't come to those staff development conferences and learned from both yourself and the people that you brought in to those conferences. And I mean, I've been part of a couple of those as well, those, you know, and delivered sessions in them and stuff. And it's quite gratifying, isn't it, to kind of see an audience of, you know, 100, 200, 300 people or whatever on these calls, and you know, you're thinking, wow, like, you know, we're adding a little bit of value somewhere here.
You and me both are academician, so we have to give something to society. And we can give something to society by what we have. We have education. We can only give the education back to the society. I thought this is the way I can give back to the society. In the conferences, I always say there is a process of publication. You need to understand that process of publication. You can't be like conference is just finished and you can start buzzing my phone. Oh, this publication is done. Or no, first you need to refine your paper. You know, we have journal outlets in the conferences, but you always have to refine if until unless your paper will match up with the specification or the author guidelines as per journal scope, it will not go, you know, in that journal. So you have to be ready for revisions, for taking that pain. If you are taking that pain, if you understood the publication process, then it will be easy for you as well as for me to take your paper through. Right now, if you have seen Professor Joe, the current conference flyer, it's not only the Indian university. We are collaborated with the Mahasa University from Malaysia. That is our partner in this. So other foreign countries are also showing, you know, their confidence and their, you know, their trust in us. Recently, I have visited Mahasa University, Malaysia, and on 17th, 18th April, got an outstanding academician award over there as well, outstanding achiever award. So it's not about being you know, it does not satisfy your soul taking awards and all, but what satisfies is, okay, how many papers, you know, I was able to help. If 30, 40 papers are coming in Scopus database because I have helped them, then it is a great satisfaction. And many of them were seniors to me.
Yeah, which is amazing, isn't it? When you can share that with people who are more senior and have been around a while longer. That's yeah, I love that. What's the landscape like today as opposed to, say, 5 years ago? We've had the rise of AI in the last 18 months. Is that changing things?
Yes, you're very much on the point. AI is absolutely changing things.
Yeah. So
AI
how are
is,
you
you know,
how
AI
tools are being used, you know, and what are the questions that come up most from academicians and people that you are perhaps training in these sessions about the use of AI or not using it or whatever? Where's that in India at the moment? Because it'll be interesting to hear your view from an Indian perspective and compare that with what I'm seeing in Ireland. So
look in India, AI is very, very much in its initial phase. Okay, researchers know about AI, but at the same time, there are many training programs and many workshops are happening to tell them ethical use of AI.
yes.
AI is not bad, you know. To use AI is not bad, but how to use it ethically. Sometimes we have given our students a task to do, like you have to write certain report of 1500 words or so, 2000. He had generated the whole report through AI. No, this can't be the task, you know, of AI. You have to understand the ethical usage of AI. There are tools like in AI also there are many tools like Research Rabbit is a very good AI tool for doing the literature review and all. You know, so
kind of
yeah, there's a tool like Conscientious is also a very good tool of AI. Then Trinka is there. So there are AI has you know provided you n number of tools. At the same time, you should know which tool is to use where and how to use that tool effectively.
Yes.
If you don't know these tools, the usage of those tools, you will not able to. When I started my career, initially before coming to Dublin, I was doing marketing of smart classes in which the content is displayed through projector and all in the classes. It's like in the 3D based content. So I always say content cannot be the video content cannot be the it cannot be the replacement of teacher. One should be trained how to use the video content. Somewhere there was no PPT in the classroom in the ancient times or in the past time. We started using PPT, uh, and at the same time we are trained how to use PPT effectively. It can't be like PPT. You can put everything on PPT, can read it out, and then close the class. No, PPT can be a facilitator. It cannot be a teacher.
Yes.
Similarly, AI can be a facilitator. It cannot be a writer.
Yeah.
The day people will understand this. So it's in very nascent stage, and more training and learning is required on the usage of AI.
But it's certainly now allowing some degree of acceleration in doing research, because
yes, it is.
and link to papers and follow citation links forward and back from papers. You can take the papers that a given author or on a given topic more quickly and do summarizing and stuff like that, can't you? So
yeah, it is saving your time.
Yeah.
It is saving your time.
Yeah. So that's an interesting kind of new frontier, I think, for research, isn't it? Is that? Yeah, I mean, in Ireland, I mean, I'm running AI training every week now.
Yeah, I've seen
both for universities, but also for companies and semi-state bodies and things like that. And again, we're still early. It's starting. People are starting to have heard of it now, but I'm still seeing probably 7 out of 10 people, even on a course. So they're almost self-selecting because they've come on a course about AI, but probably 70% of them haven't really used it apart from maybe firing up ChatGPT and putting in a couple of prompts. That's about it. There's no knowledge of wider AI tools, deeper use of AI, and things like better ways to
no, I don't think like even in India people knows about the deeper use. It's only like open the Google like ChatGPT, doing some stuff. There may be some exceptions who knows all the tools and all. It's the whole world is learning about AI and ChatGPT.
Yeah, and every
week we are exploring.
Yeah,
and every week, and because the technology has just encountered last year, and it encountered all the sectors, either it's education sectors, retail sector, everywhere. So we still have to understand the application of AI, and it will take time to know, it's and the whole good and bad, and how to use it effectively.
Yeah. Are you seeing any linkage between your academic work and the kind of world of business? Is there any crossover between working on an academic piece and publications and stuff, and then, if you like, the other world, the non-academic world of kind of making money and employing people and putting food on the table for the kids? Do they meet in India? Is there a good synergy there?
If you say writing and business I didn't understand it completely. What you are expecting with
Does the world of business connect with the academic world effectively? Does the academia bring
not that much. Academics is completely different. No, more or less like universities in foreign. They have shown you like I've seen students coming from non-European countries. They have a different type of fees structure, and students in Europe, they have a different types of fees structure.
Right.
So you universities are also, they are earning a good amount of money. You know, in India, we are still seeing education more as a service to the society.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and yes, the merchant phase. Many foreign universities are also coming into India and setting up their campuses and all. So who knows? You know, in the coming time, there will be more and more a linkage between business and education
Yes.
in India.
Yeah. Because I mean, a lot of my colleagues, you know, academic colleagues in Ireland, and I look at them and they're working with businesses. So the research that they're doing is business based, is very much real world based, if you like. They're not sitting in
Okay. That's what
commodities out.
is your point. Yeah, business. This type of research is missing. The
Right.
research which can be used, the application can be used for business.
Yes.
This type of research is needed, and that's where we can improve.
So that's a big opportunity then
That's a
for
big opportunity. When I've selected my topic of PhD, I've selected it on small medium enterprises,
right.
small entrepreneurs, startup entrepreneurs, adoption of technology by small medium enterprises. So I want to see how much they are adopting the technology for expansion of their business, what is the effect and all. Because I always want to do research on some problem of the society.
Mm,
If the situation, or if if SMEs will improve, automatically the economy of India will also get stronger, because major 40% of GDP is still coming from those SMEs.
right.
They are
Which is
generating
huge.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are generating those employment. And in the research, I have found that the SMEs in the developed countries, you talk about UK, talk about Australia, talk about Ireland, they are much higher, or much way ahead than India in usage of technology. So same ways, our research is more or less is lacking that application of business, or what you can say, the results of research can be used for consultancy, or can be used for improving the business practices. And
Yeah.
no doubt, the esteemed institutes in India like IIMs or the A category colleges, they are doing such projects work which can help business in improving their current situation, which can be. And when many of them are also connected as the consultants, and helping the business to grow. But this needs to come down, to all the levels, to all the colleges, either it's a B category or it's a C category, so that type of research is still we need to work it on.
Mm. I mean, this week, I had two teams in a competition final in Ireland, and 2 years ago we teamed up. My course teamed up with Dublin City Council, who run this program each year to connect small, medium-sized enterprises with master's student teams who want to work on a business problem. So, and I mean, I've done this in classes for 10 years now, 15 years, but this was, I saw this very similar model from Dublin City Council, and they have like 150, 200 companies queuing up, wanting to work with 4 or 5 students doing a master's program in some kind of business discipline. And then the students engage with them for 2 or 3 months and write a business plan or come up with some way that the business can be improved. And this is a brilliant model that we're seeing now getting more and more popular, certainly in Ireland, because it kind of ticks all the boxes. You've got problem-based, project-based learning for the students. They can apply theory in practice under the guidance of an experienced professor or facilitator or whatever, and work on perhaps a reasonably small doable project with a real business that makes real impact to people, customers, staff, the business themselves or whatever. And I don't know whether that kind of a concept has got over to India yet, but it's something that, you know, in the 10, 15 years I've been doing it, I've never ever had a failure of one of those engagements, and it's always, you know, everybody loves it. The students love it, the businesses love it, everybody kind of feels that it's worthwhile and it's a fantastic learning experience.
It is actually, and correct, you have said it correctly, that in India also students in a master's program, we talk about master's business management and all, they do different types of projects and all in the summer internship and all. But how many projects are actually inclined with solving the real world application?
Yeah.
A big number is missing.
Right.
Okay,
Case
so
study based rather than actual real.
yeah, yes. If you are in actually in that scenario, solving a problem, or you know, like we used to write in UCD consultancy reports and all. Those consultancies report can be, you know, if you are observing the whole process for a period of 2 months or so, then writing a consultancy report, uh, less students want to take that pain, you know, writing the consultancy report, and uh, whether the professors or their placement cells are actually connecting them to that opportunity, you know, or not. This is also need to be taken care. They have got right type of opportunity, and fortunately, in you as a facilitator is there with the students who's connecting them with the right type of opportunities, and then they have to work it. You have shown them the first light, and then they have to take it forward.
Yes.
But it's not the case everywhere. In India, like the facilitator should be like that. You yourself said you are more a businessman. You see yourself as a businessman than an academician. So here are more like people are more like academic, see themselves as academician more than a businessman. So uh, I studied under you. I learned certain texts of, you know, taking business all the way, business all together. So I can see that probably in longer term, or I will also say this statement: I'm less of academician, more of a businessman. But right now, more of an academician. But trying to, I'm making a big circle through my academic arena. I try to connect my students with those connects which I have.
Yes.
If they can do some real world problems, if they can provide solution of real world problems, and then we can make out some research project out of that, then that's something exceptional, because everything is connected with business. Either you say research, you say education. Obviously, we are doing masters in business on.
Indeed, yes.
So
But yes, we have to work on real world problems. I mean, I'm teaching a class next, and we'll be looking at the sustainability goals, you know, the SDGs from the UN, and again, that's tremendously valuable to kind of connect students with these global issues, and this is what people care about, isn't it? And if you point students at hunger, or you point students at climate change or inequality or whatever, I mean, they flourish because they all care about these things.
Yes, you are right. Actually, in the classroom, teacher is the first light for their students. In whatever direction you will take those students, they will go in that direction. Like in my classes, I focus like students should be a good writer. I focus more on like these, you know, assignments, working on journals, making those reports and all, because I have studied in a different environment. I don't have studied in UCD as well as in India, so I know. So I try to make a balance. So we are the facilitator. We have to show them the path. If we will show them the right path, ultimately, many of academician, many of student also think, what is research? Research is just writing it. No, if you are good in research, if you are good in analysis, if you are good in finding, what is research? Research is giving a solution of a problem, finding a solution, working on that solution, analyze, and then give some results. So if we are excellent in that process, then there are a number of companies altogether. They all have problems. And if we can actually write a research for them for their improvement of their processes, that's how the subjects can be prepared, modules can be prepared, and we can do justice with business education as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are coming towards the end of our time. Is there anything else that you wanted to kind of touch on in terms of this whole collaborative kind of research space?
I just want to touch a point like if we talk about like you are from Ireland, I'm from India, and if we talk about the disparities or the strength of both, like India is a very strong. Like I was studying one report, like India is very strong in software development, IT services. Ireland, uh, even I went for higher education. Ireland is known for its quality education, is strong in research science, research in life sciences and pharmaceuticals. Both the countries have prestigious universities, research institutions, foster innovation, and high quality research. Now, where the difference lies? The difference lies basically, weaknesses are in the resource disparities. When
Yeah,
you are sitting in Ireland, you have all types of, such resources where you can facilitate excellent research. But when you are sitting, I said the resources are not in the same ways allocated in all the Indian universities. In few universities, in at few campuses, you are getting that resource. How you are nurturing your faculty, how you are nurturing your students. Such resource disparity. At the same time, the funding. Research also needs funding. Like
yes,
I feel like this is the topic where I want to do a study on this topic in Ireland. So I'm not capable of to go to Ireland. Then there's a role of university to give me that funding. What I'm getting from there, what knowledge I'm that getting from there. Knowledge cannot be measured. From that knowledge we can we can build up connection, and the government on both the sides is giving enough importance to research. You are from Ireland, you're Irish, I'm from India. You also know your government is also talking about quality education. Have a prestigious university. You also UCD has a brilliant ranking, world QAS ranking, 167 or 168. Why? Because you have a strong research foundation.
yes.
So, if we can come together, if we have to raise our level, we have to be collaborative,
Yes.
and we need to learn that quality or quality resource allocation is very, very important.
Yeah.
So,
And it is, and I think UCD that I'm associated with puts in a lot of time and effort into applying for research money. And they regularly win research money. So that coming into the university then facilitates hiring fellows, PhDs, postdocs, and then doing more research that generates,
yeah, and if they are hiring the quality, that quality is giving them more quality,
yes,
and in that manner they are attracting more and more money.
yeah, yeah.
A big number of money is also coming from businesses because those quality people
Indeed.
are giving the solution of business problems.
Yes. And I think it's almost a virtuous circle, isn't it? As it starts to show results, then it
Yes.
attract more money, and then you get more and more. But I mean, as well, the startup sectors, are also being supported by government agencies. So we have a small firms kind of support level set of agencies, and then we have our medium business, and then our larger business supports, and those are kind of almost institutionalized within the country, because Ireland is a small country and we export knowledge and we export knowledge workers. I suppose 100 years ago, Ireland was primarily an agricultural, that was it. It was agriculture. Whereas now it's knowledge. And that's why I think a lot of companies and country, large companies from different countries The foreign direct investment into Ireland has been massive in the last 20, 30 years because we've created an environment where it's a good place for them to be, both from a financial tax base, but also from a knowledge base, a very highly trained, highly knowledgeable workforce, and then good research backing into that to back it up. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. So if we, that's what I say, in collaboration we can learn many things.
Yeah.
What
And
you are
Europe
good
as
at.
well. I mean, Europe is an economic powerhouse, and increasingly Europe is making funding available across the European Union, in various programs and things. So that also helps, although the process for getting European funding is generally a lot more opaque than it is, maybe getting local funding. But yeah, so
You're right.
okay. Well, there we go. I think we've probably covered that quite well for the
Yeah.
first episode of the podcast. But
It
yeah,
was excellent to have interaction with you, over a period of time. We are always connected to each other, either for some conference thing or some workshop. In future also we will connect. But when we talk with each other, this 1 hour, I didn't realize how it passed. Yeah, this 1 hour when sitting with you and talking about the research scenario in India or in Ireland. So it was absolutely fantastic to be with you in this podcast. Thank you, Professor Joe Houghton, once again,
and thank
for
you.
giving your time and inviting and all. I keep learning things, and you are always being a good mentor, always being a good teacher. Thank you.
Well, the same goes for you, Anuj. I mean, I just follow your career, and it's just going up and up and up like this. So every time I look on the LinkedIn or the social media, you've got a new position, or there's a new paper out or something. So it's fantastic to see your success. And we will continue to collaborate.
Yeah, we will continue to collaborate. My short-term goal is to very soon, either in 2025, to invite you in India in physical mode and do certain programs. 2024, I'll do in online mode, but in 2025, soon I want to see
we'll
you
have to make it happen at some point.
Yeah. Slowly, I'm taking my baby steps, and I will do the things because I don't give up easily.
Super. Okay. Right. Well,
Thank you.
call it a day. Thanks, Anuj.
Thank you. Thank you once again. Okay.